Hello everybody, thanks for joining me on Life and Surround. Today I'm hoping to do a quick and fun video. Quick for me and hopefully fun for everyone. I was recently asked by someone on quadrophonic.com what my, just off the top of my head, top 10 favorite surround albums are. The ones that I listen to a lot, the ones that have stuck with me. And I gave an off the top of my head response. And his feedback was, oh my gosh, this is an expensive list. I only have a couple of these and many of them are out of print and maybe were a small run of production and now are very expensive to acquire. And some out of print surround titles are seeing new life as Dolby surround streaming or Dolby Atmos streaming, but many are not. They're just locked in that out of print, super high price purgatory. And so I told him I would try to develop a list of 10 awesome but affordable surround titles. So in some cases that means that they have been re-released, or they are still in their initial retail run, or they received a large run and frequently appear on eBay, Amazon sellers, Discogs.com, those types of sites for reasonable prices. So I'm going to give you such a list today. And first of all, I'm going to get a few honorable mentions out of the way. Although I only have the dual disc now because I prefer DVD audio as a format. The Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms, SACD, is often heralded as a good starting point for a surround collection, a reference disc if you want to see if you've calibrated your system properly. I'm not sure if that's a fair use of it. Like, it may be one of those discs that just makes any system sound awesome. So maybe more problematic albums should be used as a reference. But anyway, people love it, and it truly does sound amazing. On my systems, I find bass management and stuff like that to be a little bit more simplified with DVD audio. It's a PCM technology and SACD is DSD. But in any case, Brothers in Arms, SACD, is usually able to be purchased for, you know, $15 to maybe $25, $30 range. Okay? And again, I've opted for the DVD audio version in the long run, but there is a SACD version of Hotel California by Eagles, and it's usually very affordable as well, and it is often not only an early part of most surround collections, but also tends to be one of those discs that's heralded as a reference. And then I could also point out Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, SACD. It can be expensive to track down the immersion box set, in which you'll find a Blu-ray that has the 1973 quad mix and the later 2009-ish James Guthrie 5.1 mix. The SACD only has the 5.1. And while I consider the quad mix to be the more interesting experience, the 5.1 is worth owning, it's worth listening to, and you can find Dark Side of the Moon SACD often under like 20 bucks. Okay? So I just wanted to get those out of the way, but they're probably in so many people's collections that I wanted to offer up some alternative selections. And if you keep watching, you may hear about one or more albums of which you have not yet heard. Okay? So hopefully that's the case. I'm going to start with number 10. I've mentioned this album before. It's Mass for Modern Man by 2L. And, you know, I'm going to be trying to present some albums that are representative, right? So what I mean by that in this case is if you go to 2L.no, maybe, it's Norwegian, so The link is going to be down below. I'm leaving links for all of these suggestions. And Master Modern Man is not the only album worth tracking down by 2L, so I want to point you at their site and kind of get you hooked on checking out a lot of their stuff, okay? The cool thing about them is their packages tend to be very affordable. I want to say like around the $30 range, and you get Blu-ray audio that often has Atmos, sometimes RO, definitely has lossless 5.1, and high-res stereo, and then you also generally get an SACD as well. So if you're into primarily 5.1, you can just pop that in your player and, you know, play it like a CD without a menu. So 2L, amazing stuff. It's like orchestral, choral type of stuff recorded with like 3D microphone placement in exquisite acoustic environments like Nordic cathedrals. Okay, so I can't recommend this album highly enough, and also I have several other 2L albums that I just love as well. Okay, so I mention them as often as I can. Next up, we have another representative album. It's War of the Gods and 360 Degrees of Billy Paul. This is a twofer from Dutton Vocalion. Unlike their normal twofers, which actually pack 2 albums on one SACD, each of these albums actually got their own SACD. So it's a 2 SACD set. And because of that, I think this may be a little bit more expensive than their normal offering, but normally their SACD albums and even the twofers are like around 12 pounds. And even if this is a little bit more expensive, this is just like aural gold. I love it. It's funky, it's smooth, it sounds astonishingly good. Man, this is the sort of reason why I built a dedicated quad station, okay? Billy Paul, Dutton Vocalion, again, the link is below, okay? Not only check out the Billy Paul double SACD, but Dutton Vocalion over the last several years have released some awesome stuff. The Guess Who, Art Garfunkel, Santana, among others, okay? So really, go check it out. Alright, next we have an album that I mentioned recently. I think it's still available retail. We have Gentle Giant, freehand. Not only do you get the original quad flat transfer, but you get a new Steven Wilson 5.1 mix and a new Steven Wilson Atmos mix of what some argue to be the greatest Gentle Giant album. It is no secret that I think The Power and the Glory gives this a run for its money. But cool graphics and exquisite mixes, and again you have 3 surround choices on this, still available retail. And let's go and take a look. Just over $20. So if you don't have that in your collection already and you don't hate Gentle Giant, you just have to pick it up. It's a total must. Alright, then one that simply is available on the secondhand market, usually fairly affordably, and Tomita records get like these different brandings. So like if the Ultimate Edition Planets isn't available, a DVD version from another company might be available. There may be a Denon release that has the same tracks. Anyway, Tomita in surround from a variety of different labels. Dutton Vocalion has some Tomita. I think this might be Sony. And again, like I said, the Denon label has released some Tomita as well. This is just bonkers, synthesized, usually covers of like famous orchestral pieces, and it's just crazy in surround. It is a surround delight, and if you can find any Tomita SACDs that are in your comfortable price range, just go ahead and snag them, okay? You just can't be disappointed. This is a Denon. Alright. Now another representative type of suggestion. This is Queen, Greatest Video Hits. I happen to have the collection that has volumes 1 and 2 together as a 2 DVD set. You can also find volume 1 on its own with a bonus DVD, and you can find volume 2 on its own with a bonus DVD for a total of 4 DVDs. But if my memory serves, if my research was correct, there just wasn't anything really noteworthy from a surround perspective on the bonus discs. So I went for the one version that contains all the good stuff. And the cool thing is that this is an example of a video collection that has true surround mixes, I believe for every song. Across this whole set of dozens of tracks, there might be an up mix or two. But generally, like, very, very, very good mixes. And aside from the game and A Night at the Opera, this is the only Queen elsewise in surround, and it's their hit material. So you also get to watch the videos, which sometimes are really cool and sometimes are cheesy or whatever, so it's a cool experience. Queen in surround, unless they hop on like the streaming Atmos bandwagon, and like I said, aside from 2 other complete albums, that's it. So that's an important release, and it's affordable at this time, so go track it down. Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet. The Blu-ray version of this is generally very expensive, and the dual disc can be found much more modestly priced, and I happen to prefer the sonics of the DVD audio layer of this dual disc. By comparison, I found the Blu-ray to be a bit brighter, and I tend not to like bright material. So this just feels a little bit more mellow to me, and to my ears it's the winner, and it has a better price point. Okay? So sometimes just choosing the right version will ease your pocketbook a bit. And here's Elaine Malay, maybe Elaine Mallet. I apologize, I don't know, but I'm gonna assume maybe French origin and say Elaine Malay. And this is Mutt Slang. The reason I recommend this is it's kind of a sleeper title. It may be one that you don't really hear mentioned anywhere. I'm not sure if there's a ton of reviews out there about it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not. But the cool thing is this has a great mix. It's on a somewhat ancient format called DSCD, and so in my opinion it just gets like cool points that sort of a vintage format sees new releases. I really love that sort of thing. Somebody should put out you know, Dolby Surround CD of their next album. But anyway, this has an Elliot Shiner mix, and if I understand correctly, this may be the last of his mixes before he retired. And I think he teamed up with his son for this mix, Elliot Shiner and Matt Shiner. So maybe there's a bit of passing the torch there. And this is like cool world meets fusion type of stuff. It's not gonna be for everybody. I think I got this from CD Baby or Bandcamp. The link will be below. And in any case, I think you can sample at least some of the album, maybe the whole thing. So I dig it. I'm glad it's in my collection. If you thought you had heard everything by Elliot Shiner, you maybe were wrong and should track this down. If you are an Elliot Shiner fan, it should be in your collection. Okay, we're getting toward the top of my suggestions. We have Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots DVD audio. This is simply legendary. It's an amazing surround experience. It is among the best Flaming Lips albums in my opinion, and in that of many others. It is Elliot Shiner collaborating with members of the band and their production team to create a mix that really stretches sonic boundaries and aural boundaries, and creates just an absolutely unique experience, but still serves the music. This is a crazy surround mix, but it still serves the music, and it has become sort of a noun in a different sense. Like if somebody says that, you know, it's a Yoshimi level mix, they're referring to how great this mix is, okay? And the fact that it can often be found affordably, I have known of times when the market's been a little thin. But if you just keep your eyes open, put your searches on Discogs, eBay, Amazon, and jump on the purchase when you get the message that one is in your price point. It isn't very hard to find Yoshimi. In fact, I think I may be on like my 4th or 5th copy, because I sort of give them away, or if I find a copy that's in like a little bit better condition, you know, I'll sell my current one. Alright, so they're not tough to find. Next we have Porcupine Tree, arriving somewhere. This is a concert Blu-ray, and this is going to appear in another video soon, so that may be a big clue as to what's coming next. The reason why this is cool is for many, many years, Arriving Somewhere existed only as a concert DVD, and even though the surround on it is really good, DVD video is only capable of lossy surround, and so the band went ahead and reissued Arriving Somewhere. They weren't lazy and just happy with re-release of the DVD. They put out a Blu-ray, so now we have this exquisite concert in lossless surround, and trademark of Steven Wilson's surround, Porcupine Tree surround, is that it is extremely well done, and that includes the live material. Okay, so I recommend the reissue of Arriving Somewhere, available for like 20 bucks. And you know, when I went to upgrade from my DVD to the Blu-ray, I put the DVD up for sale, and I think I may have gotten the exchange for free. Like I got a similar price for the DVD. Okay, so no-brainer. And then lastly, I'm going to show you my Sgt Peppers 5.1 Blu-ray. And although I don't recommend tracking down the Sgt Peppers Deluxe set to get this Blu-ray, because the mix is just okay, it's not great. It's okay if it isn't in your collection. I'm glad about certain things about this disc, but just generally not recommendable. But Giles Martin did a separate Atmos mix for theater. Sgt Peppers was played for a limited time in theaters with an Atmos soundtrack, and it was reputed by those who went to that show that it was a better listening experience than the 5.1 mix contained on the Blu-ray. And not only that, but Giles stated some time ago that he wanted to refine that Atmos mix, and it is now up and available to listen to on streaming services. I know Apple Music for sure. I've heard others say Tidal as well. And so that is another representative type of offering that I'm bringing to you, would be these streaming services. I know that some of you are just adamantly against, you know, going that direction. You want to own either a download or a physical copy. But there's just a growing number of albums and certain versions of albums that are only available streaming, Dolby surround format, spatial audio, Dolby Atmos, and that's just the way it is. You know, don't kill the messenger. I'm not saying I'm thrilled about it, but I am happy that surround and immersive mixes get out there and we can enjoy them at all, okay? So I'm just trying to count my blessings here, and I wanted to just present that to you. If you are a Beatles fan, and if you love Sgt Peppers and want to hear to my ears what is the best listening experience of that album so far, and unless they put this new Atmos mix out like in the 75th anniversary edition or whatever, this may be as good as Pepper gets in immersive. Okay, and for what it's worth, streaming Atmos is lossy, but I sat and listened and was just captivated. I loved it. Is it perfect? Or could some more daring choices have been made? Perhaps. But is it better than the 5.1 on the Blu-ray? Without a doubt. And people who have heard both say that it's also better than the initial theatrical Atmos mix. Alright, so there you go. 10 awesome but also affordable surround albums. I hope this has helped you. Again, all the links are below. Happy hunting, happy shopping. If enough of us go and gobble all these up, then maybe they won't be on the affordable list for long. You know, there have to be only a certain amount of copies available of each of these. So go snatch them up while they're available. I hope this helps you out. Also, if you have recommendations for people of an album that you think is awesome and it needs to be in people's collections and is also affordable, so let's say like no more than $35, $40, go ahead and please provide a link below so that your friends, fellow surround enthusiasts can just go easily look at what you think is a great deal. Okay, so I appreciate your participation. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe, ring the notification bell, leave your comments. It all helps the health of this channel and to get my love of surround music out to more people, which I hope will help the surround music world and will just make this world a more enjoyable place for more of us. And that is the point of living life in surround.